was 33 drivers right now, and it's going to be like 15 minutes qualification time. And Mount Panorama is a very tricky track, of course, and the selection of the car is going to be also one of the factors that might be also to deal with this very unique track with a lot of elevation changes, like very extreme downhill and so uphill, how the car can handle the ascending and descending elevations, a drastic descending and elevation. Like the car that has a very good grip should be more popular amongst the car choice amongst the driver who joined our race today. As you can see, the car selection is kind of unique because for the past weekly race, you know that Ferrari is maybe not one of the favorite, but currently in our race right now, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, there are 4 Ferraris, and there is several Porsche too as well. McLaren surprisingly is not dominating in this track, so very interesting indeed. We have like several Bentley, still one of the favorite track among all the circuit in Assetto Corsa competition. Yeah, it's kind of a bit surprising that the McLaren is not the choice of the most of the drivers. And we have also several Lamborghini also joining in our race today in the Mount Petrus. Oh, it's only one, I guess. Yeah, so I guess the distribution of the car is kind of well spread. I can guess that it's going to be a lot of variety in our race today. And not to mention also, we also have some guests coming from international drivers, Philippine guys, both of them still joining. As you can see, there's some hyping here. Also, I'll represent the international drivers joining from outside Indonesia. Belegunan from Philippines. We also have a race from Philippines also, and one new drivers, Brookhammer. He is coming from Germany. So welcome, Brookhammer. It's nice to have you here. It's going to be exciting to race against and to make friends among international drivers. So let's see like how our driver from Germany was joining for the first time in our weekly race can keep up with the drivers from Indonesia. Is he going to be a great contender among our drivers? And yeah, Mrs. Bill also has mentioned that he also using a Germany manufacturer, Audi. So well represent the country here. Brookhammer using Audi R6, RMS GT3. It's also one of my favorite cars in GT3 because Audi has a very beautiful sound, engine sound. So thanks to the cylinder configuration that makes the sound is so beautiful to hear. One thing I might not be kind of is because the car shape is kind of unique. It's kind of grooved like a Porsche, just but in a different way. Some drivers are still favoriting Audi for some reasons, and one of them, like our driver from Germany, is because maybe it's the German manufacturer. So Billy Ebenhazer is using, surprisingly, he's using the car that he is not used to. So that's one of the interesting thing about the weekly race. By joining Fun Race, you can actually test out some of the cars that you're not familiar with, and maybe some of you also be surprised with the performance of the car itself. So it's kind of unique to see drivers. One of our pro driver from Javasim, Billy Ebenhazer, choose Lexus as his car, which is actually is not common, obviously, among all the car selection in the GT3 of Assetto Corsa competition, and see how it's going to perform. Our principal, Arif Hidayat, also taking place in this weekly race. principle is make sure that he is also contributing and yeah, just to have fun with our community in Discord. One of the interesting thing, of course, after we have the race, is the discussion itself. So make sure, guys, if you want to join, how fun is it, and to see, it's interesting always when you're like on the spotlight, you're having some mistake and it's happened. Naturally, it's kind of often to happen when you're creating spotlight, you made mistake, and it's of course become one of the discussion item in our broadcast. So the mistake, of course, is unavoidable in some situations, especially when you're dealing with an uncommon situation like in the night when the temperature is kind of different. Oh, see, our drivers is just coming from Germany. Bruckhammer just take the second place in the qualifications, following up by our international driver to run the race. Still glad that our Indonesian driver Yudhistira still take place on the first with his Mercedes. Very, very challenging for sure for Indonesian driver hosting such an event, and we have a guest from international, which of course is set up a new bar for us to give such a motivation to beat our guests. It's very interesting to have that kind of invasion, I can say, from international drivers who's coming. So just make sure, guys, to join our race because it's going to be very, very interesting to follow up. And the third is Dava Ardiansa, just taken run the race place by his McLaren. Let's see whether Bruckhammer able to take the first place and beat the time from Andres Yudhistira. Mr. Reddit, is that possible for us to see the time? Because currently it's not showing. Let's see whether... Okay, cool. Oh, it's just split second, guys. Very interesting. Bruckhammer is just 0.2 second from the first pole positions. As you can see, the first... Oh, Arwin Taruna. Not so surprised. One of the elite drivers from Indonesia, Arwin Taruna, one of the senior drivers. He's currently racing for multiple teams. From one of the league that being held by HM Engineering. He is representing also international team. And currently, Mount Panorama is one of the selections of the track, which is very interesting to be made as the weekly race. Because it's fun track for sure, a lot of unexpected thing, and it's really adrenaline rush among all the drivers. So you see, among all the drivers, like only 19 who has already scored their time for these qualifications. Only 5 minutes time left remaining. So I can say that one of the biggest challenges is because this track is very tricky to have this kind of clean lap. It's maybe challenging by most of the drivers because when you hit the wall there just for a small amount, it will invalidate your time. Not to mention also there's a lot of traffic happening, of course, with more than 25 drivers is currently joining this race. So very interesting indeed. And as you can see now it's already in the evening, the sun is about to set. And we're going to start the race in the night, so all the drivers are required to turn on the lamps. And also one of the interesting things from Assetto Corsa Compact, because the realistic damage that apply on the car, it will let your car has damage on the lamp too as well. So when you have your car damage on the front, when you're braking, like the lamp is going to like just blinking. It's kind of annoying, and also give you some experience that your car is damaged. Also to give the driver in front of you that's kind of insight that, hey, The car behind me is damaged, maybe something that you have to put your strategy on. Alright, so less than 2 minutes remaining. We can have one first pole position is taken by Arvin Taruna with the Bentley. Surprisingly, very solid performance from Arvin Taruna. And of course, it's going to be setting such a good competition for all the drivers. Like one driver from Germany who just joined the race. Okay, let's see the hot lap on board from our pole position. Indeed, it's a very, very nice racing lane here. And one of the driver is just giving him space. Solid performance. I can see this spot is very, very tricky. Oh my god, almost. Yeah. Two drivers just colliding each other and are not able to avoid it successfully. As you can see, this kind of element of surprises has happened with a track like in on Panorama. When you have that kind of blind spot, blind corner, combined with the downhill sections, of course, that kind of surprise element will make you freak out when you're not well prepared for that. So, expect it happen in our race today. Of course, it's going to be very, very interesting to see all the things going to happen. So, currently we're spotlighting Andres Yudhistira from Untitled Chapter, using his Bentley and this kind of livery, the signature color of the auto class, always like catching up our ace. It's really gaining our attentions, and it's so easy to say that this car is coming from the auto class RD. Jafar Diansa is now coming for the pole position, just less than 0.2 split seconds from Arvin Taruna. So it's going to be a very good competition here. Let's see whether Yudhistira are able to keep up and change the positions now, crossing the finish line, but still not much thing changes in our position 1, 2, 3. Now coming to our international driver, our contender from Germany. Oh, it's very, very nice sound from Audi R8 LMS. The high pitch from the engine rev is kind of very satisfying, and also pushing the adrenaline, I can say. So when you're on the car with the kind of rev engine sound, it's kind of like motivating your up. Hey, onboard lap from John Brookhammer. Okay, kind of a bit mistake there, I guess. See, a very, very nice lap. Just finished out the downhill section, now coming to the straight. And this braking is very, very determining, and every driver maybe has a very different braking point in here, because it really depends on your whole car performance in handling the braking from the high speed. It's very good. Let's see. Oh, actually he's already moving to the 5th positions. Let's see once he finishes the racing line, either our driver from Germany is going to getting better position, but unfortunately I guess not. He's keeping on the 5th position, and we are going to address Yudhistira, which is actually going down from the 1st, 2nd, now coming to the 4th, and Arvin Taruna is also going to the 3rd. Jafar Diansa and Rian Reyes. Very interesting. So it's a mix between our international drivers among Indonesian drivers on the 1 to 5 position. So you can expect a very exciting battle among all the drivers here right now. So yeah, guys, it's coming to the race. The session is going to start in about 2 minutes. Now let's give some time for drivers to set up their cars. I want to mention some of the position right now. The grids: Jafar Diansa, Rian Reyes, Arvin Taruna, Yudhistira, Brookhammer, Belagunan. So the mix of the 1 till 6, I guess, is very interesting. Our driver from Javasim, Billy Heiser, Mada Andika, and Makil, Colin Levy, Renaldi Edo. Yeah, you can see like driver like Renaldi Edo for the past race. He actually intentionally is not getting into the qualification because he just want to start from behind. But now it seems that Ronaldo is want to having fun trying to push the car, and he is currently on the 11th position. We have Skalevi, Rafa Haris, Iko Ahmad, Gun Miranto from Javasim, Budi Pramana, Bradley, Rian Chandra, Arif Hidayat, our principal, Artemin, Viantonio, Belmiro, Rahul, Calvin Chai. Yeah, so that's the 21st driver. I think there are some more on the track. Let's see, guys, like most of the driver has not already turned on the lamp yet. Maybe still because they are still preparing the car, adjusting the fuel, and of course, adjusting the tire pressure and the temperature, because it's going to be very tricky situations and strategy to deal with the pressure on the next situation like this. And with the next situation, with the colder temperature, it means that you might able to set the tire pressure lower than it has to be, like usually on the day race, because actually you're able to make sure that the tire pressure is low, and it means that you will able to have more grips. But still, our track temperature is not that cold currently. It's at 20 degrees Celsius. But the main challenge, of course, right now is the visibility, because of course in the main panorama, of course, especially in the upper hill sections, there is not so much light on this track. So it might become a kind of nightmare for most of the drivers, because this night panorama things is actually it's actually real street. So main Panorama is one of the track which has it's being used as the real street in the when there is no race happening. So expect there's not much lights happening like the most of the modern circuit are. In the modern circuit, of course, like most usually being equipped with a lot of light things. With Mount Panorama, you can just literally racing like on the street. So, and it's on the mountain. Yeah, a lot of track is on the actual street. You can mention some name, but some of them are on the city. But Mount Panorama is such an exception because you're actually racing on the mountain, which is also the real road, real mountain that in the not in the race. It's being used by folks, the common people. It started to give me ideas if you guys want to traveling to New South Wales in the Bathurst. So Bathurst is actually located in like 2 hours from Sydney. You can actually experience driving your car in the track. Like we don't have to deal with some ticket. Like when you're going to race in Nürburgring, you have to deal with ticket, safety, or the insurance. But in Mount Panorama, you can actually experience this track in the regular basis. So very, very interesting, guys. Yeah, so I'm going to posting this event to some of the group on Facebook. Yeah, I just want to. One of our goals in Javasim is also to gaining as much exposure as possible, and one of the goals is to like being more familiar with some international community, and that's also one of the reasons why we are having our broadcast in English. So if you have some friends outside Indonesia and want to have the community among Indonesian people, just expanding your network and also experience how furious Indonesian drivers are. So you can like trying to invite your friend in our weekly race, because you're international drivers friendly, and our Discord channel also available in English too as well for some people who's coming from international. Yeah, so it's on the formation lap right now. It's a full formation lap, and the start is just about in few minutes. Let's see, guys. All right, so we're just about to start the race. I'm currently sharing this race to some of the Discord channels, so expect me to be idle for a while. Yeah, so our driver is still on the formation lap, and the race is just about to start. It's very, very exciting. All right. So it's the last corner before the race started. Alright, now is the green light. Oh, not yet, it's just about to start in view. Alright, here we go guys. So Dava Diansha, McLaren is getting past by Randy Reyes and Arvin Turner. The battle between McLaren and two Bentley now coming to the first corner. Some driver outside the track. So far so good guys in here. Oh, there's some driver really outside the track. Interestingly, Budi Pramana still good. It's a strike here, but the next section is going to be interesting. It's going to be a side turn in a high-speed situation, so the driver has to be very, very careful and also to be able to anticipate and predict what the other driver moves. So far so good, really good. Javania is still leading the race, coming to the third corner. Interestingly, surprisingly, not so much things happening on the first, second, and third corner. Since all driver is like playing safe. Oh, one driver is left behind. See, there's nothing to worry about. The backpack also so far so good. Oh, and surprisingly, it's very good green race for the start beginning of the race. So coming to Arvin Taruna, our fourth driver is our driver from Indonesia. It's coming from the downhill section. It's going to be interesting to chasing drivers here because for the first race, first lap is going to be very, very tight gap happening, so some mistake can really affecting a lot of drivers behind. So pray for the best, pray for all drivers to be safe here. And run the race, first driver coming to the top Ardiansa, and we can see there's already some gaps already happening in between the sixth position to the backs, and we have Dava Ardiansa now is having battle with our driver from Germany, Berghammer, using his Audi, chasing from behind. A very good race, a very good line here, and you can see there's a battle already happening. There's some gap is made for the first lap, but all drivers seem still in a good shape. So there's not much accident happening. Surprisingly, green race already, I can say it's already good for a fun race, which consists of a variety of the driver skills, and still nothing much to worry about. And Joe Berghammer right now is trying to catch up Dava Ardiansa with his McLaren. It's coming to the first corner, the high-speed turn to the uphill. Really requires a lot of control from the driver to be able to maintain his speed very well. It's coming to the third corner. See how our driver able to really closing the gap and having that kind of calculation, how we able to really having a very good carry on speed but still safe to catch with the barrier. So if you coming to the ordinary race, and you can see when you're racing on the track that has some tight track, it means that when you make a mistake, you're able to survive because just hitting the guy, oh my god, one driver just hitting the wall, and some driver also trying to avoiding, but fortunately some drivers able to avoid it, and there is a side tracks on the line. It means that not the colliding driver is not blocking the track. Fortunately, Dava Ardiansa is now still trying to catch up. Yudhishthira now from behind, 1 second gap. There's a lot. It's coming to the uphill section before going to really interesting downhill. So it's coming now, guys, for Dava Ardiansa to catch up with Yudhishthira. Now he's currently on the third position. As you can see, drivers from the top, like we cannot see anymore Arvin Taruna. Seems that he has some collisions on the previous laps. So Dava Ardiansa He's now still having the gap with Yudhishthira from the top. Now he's trying going to the first corner, going to the straights. Of course, it's going to be interesting to see how is the driver trying to really able to catch up by playing it brave, especially in a high-speed corner like this on the first after the straight. This requires a lot of precision, able to maintain the car as much as possible. Coming to the tight turn, the first sections of the race, you can see that Brockhammer, our driver from Germany, is trying to catch up with Davardiansha. Just some split seconds. It's very interesting. Driving to the uphill, this requires a lot of grip for sure to get that kind of. Oh, there's a sparks. Very interesting to race on the track. On the night race, to see all the sparks. It's coming from the car. The tractions. Yup. Oh, Java is playing it wild here, going to downhill section. Brockhammer is shadowing really well. Really make sure that note that kind of mistakes, even a single mistake happening, and trying to find some chance to run to getting close to our Diansha. And the track here is going to be interesting, especially when you have a close gap. You get this kind of mindless slipstream. You can see how it performs for the turn after the long straight. So carry on as much speed as possible. And how the driver can bravely trying to braking late and carry on speed. As you can see, Brockhammer is can be very close to Davardiansha. How is he trying to pass him from the inside? Very good job coming to the last turn before the end of the first track. The gap is already still there, but Brockhammer is not yet give up. He's trying to make the gap as close as possible. Shading really very good job, Brockhammer. Let's see on the another straight here. We get a very interesting track race to watch between our McLaren and Audi. Okay, Davardiansha is having such a big gap with the front, so it's a battle between Davardiansha and Brockhammer. Of course, Davardiansha, knowing there's a new name coming from behind, is very fast. Of course, it's very difficult for him to predict the skill that Brockhammer had. Maybe you don't know, like when you're having that front race, maybe you're not yet pushing yourself to the maximum, just want to see how the driver performs and just waiting for him to make a mistake. But I can see now with Brockhammer here, I think he's also a very experienced driver, which is able to maintain his speed very well, don't make even a single mistake, and the gap is stay consistent with Davardiansha. Let's see whether he wants to really playing it aggressively. As you can see here, Davardiansha is under pressure by our international drivers. Of course, it's very interesting to watch. Going to the very straight corner, Davardiansha able to maintain the gap. Is increasing right now. It's more than 0.5 seconds. Going to the turn, starting from the downhill section here. Very interesting to watch. As you can see, one driver is just getting past. It's a slow car. Renaldi Edo for using the Honda NSX Acura is also trying to close the gap with Calvin Chai in front of him using Porsche. Let's see, like one of the experienced driver, Renaldi Edo, which is actually a very good driver, I can say, with another platform like RF2, but with Aceto Corsa competency. Like many of the driver here is still adapting to the car behavior. So that's Renaldi Edo, manager of the GSR or Gayatri Racing Team. Okay, coming to the last turn of the lap, Renaldi Edo is trying to keep up. Now he is able to close the gap 0.4 with the Calvin Chai. Going to the first corner, is Renaldi Edo able to this a slow car in front of him. So Renaldi Edo and Calvin Chai is passing one car. is trying to go really carry on speed on the corner. Wirawan also trying to keep up here, going to the another tight corner in the uphill sections. It's going to be very tricky to really playing up with the trouble here because most of the drivers also having the mistakes in these sections. But seems it's all drivers are having very safe here right now. But Arif Hidayat is on the pit already. Yeah, it's not so lucky for Arif Hidayat for some multiple races he's not on the pit. But maybe, who knows? Like he wants to enjoy the race better rather than just competing with the fellow community. Okay, so Brockhammer is still trying to shadowing Ardiansyah. The gap is now less than 0.1 second. It's very close gap here right now. Oh, very close already on the last corner. Coming to straight, and seems like Brockhammer is already having the kind of slipstream right now. Maybe it's the opportunity for him to passing Jafar Ardiansyah. Very good. Still maintaining a good gap on the corner, coming to the straight before the uphill sections. Let's see. As you can see, already getting the slipstream. Brockhammer is trying to getting some opportunity to passing from the side. Pressing on the inside. Java is giving him a chance to pass him, but no, not yet. Java is not able to give up it easily. Brockhammer surely have a strong contender here from Indonesia. He has that kind of driver that have the similar skill set like him. It's a real competition here, right, guys? So Java Ardiansyah with the variety on the fun race. It's already happened here for a few laps. It's going to be a fun race to watch and see. It seems like both of the drivers already enjoy how they are battling for several laps. As you can see, Brockhammer is still able to maintain it very well for the first few laps already. Ooh, sparks haven't seemed like Java is able still. It's trying to play aggressively by really making use of all the track limits. But it's going to be very difficult here because Java Ardiansyah is having such a unable to close the gap and maintain the gap as the Brockhammer is still able to really make it really close to Java, but seems Brockhammer is already playing it safe. Because if he pushes it really hard, especially on the downhill and uphill section, which has a very tight space, not only is risky for him, but also risky for his contender. Of course, playing it safe is of course one of the race strategies that all drivers must also taken care of, because for the track like Bathurst Panorama is obviously not wise. Oh, it's coming from the inside. Oh, it's too hard, I can say. When there's a chance, like Brockhammer is want to get a chance to passing from the wide turn, but it's not that it's a mistake that happened. He's playing too aggressive, so Brockhammer, unfortunately, he has to deal with that and having that kind of mistake happening. So you can see it's likely some replays. This already there. Yeah, so unfortunately we can see the competition and the rivalry, the battle has to be ended here. But good job for both driver, especially how they're actually battling each other is very interesting to watch. Of course, Brockhammer is able to coming back to track safely, and we can see that there will be another battle happen. For right now, is Wirawan is battling against Jafar Haris. Again, Jafar Haris is still able to coming back safely, and now he's already have battle with another drivers in the midfield. So another interesting race to watch. Wirawan using his Bentley. Okay, so it's a different person, I guess, guys. So it's not Jafar, it's using Ferrari. So Adi Wirawan, Autocross ID, is closing the gap with Jafar is using Ferrari. It's coming to the tight turn here. It's very good. Of course, with a big car like Bentley, I guess the grip is already very good to handle this uphill. So most of the drivers are really trying to push the throttle hard, of course, to get speed as soon as possible after the turn. But with this track like this, especially, it's going to be very, very risky on the ascending to do that. Of course, even the elevation is like giving that kind of um, um, is holding the weight of the car, but still how the car behaves, you have to really understand your car really better. Brandon Reyes, we have a battle on the top row here, Yudhistira and Brandon Reyes. Also, the battle between international drivers among nationality, I can say. Yudhistira is from Indonesia, and Brandon Reyes is coming from Philippines. It's actually having a battle on the first and second row. It's coming to the first turn, going to the uphill sections. Brandon Reyes able to close the gap with the Yudhistira, closing the gap very well, maintaining, speaking to some slow cars. So one of the interesting things about racing in the Mount Bathurst Panorama is because of the tight track, when you have to also deal with some slow cars, especially when you're overlapping, it requires some strategy on how you're able to still maintain the gap, also avoiding, but not means also when travel also might have a different racetrack behavior, so they are not actually letting you pass, and you have to really find a way. And you can see here, Brandon Reyes is able to close the gap very well. It's surprisingly in downhill section the most interesting part of this Mount Bathurst Panorama. It's adrenaline when you're going downhill, combined with the pedal is, of course, is push you to the maximum adrenaline, and followed up by the straight corner, and you're able to exhale your breath, but you're still able to need to really have a very good focus when the braking here and trying to maintain the. Oh, Yudhistira is coming outside the track. Let's see whether they give such a penalty or able to maintain the battle very well. And see here, Yudhistira. Oh my God! What is that? What did I just saw? So Yudhistira is just rocketing from the side. It seems like there's a glitch, there's an error, and he's suddenly going outside of the list of the driver here. So forget all the battle. So I think there's some glitch happening, maybe some internet connection. But fortunately, the rocket is not just hitting when the race from the side, because it seems like, wow, just crazy. Alright, so coming to another battle here, guys. I guess we're going to see Muhammad Akil from Scenario 7 Racing Team, which is currently he is trying to pass the McLaren. So Mercedes, I think it's a slow car there. No, it's a Ferrari. So it's very close gap between the Kalevi using Ferrari. So still in the top 10 positions, going to the straight. And going to the first right-hand corner, carry on speed, very important here, and trying to make sure you utilize all the tracks very well. And coming to another uphill turn, is a tight turn here. And you're able to make sure that your car is not hitting, but also maintaining the speed and trying to make use of the throttle very wisely to get a speed. And seeing that Emma Kill is very not able to close the gap very well here. He's kind of bit left behind for some split second, but still just the uphill section, a lot of possibility can happen here. So going to the downhill section, the most interesting to watch. Stopping by a lot of braking here, going to the downhill, to the corner, and Brockhammer now is trying to still playing it hard. Very furious driver from Germany now is choose the battle to Amada Andika, also a furious driver, one of the real racer that's coming to the sim racing scene. So Madi Andika is under pressure from Brockhammer. It's easy side by side here to the corner, and you can see Madi Andika just giving that space to Brockhammer, but I guess Madi Andika is not able to keep up that easily. Giving space doesn't mean that you are give up from the competition for the battle. Madi Andika is still trying to closing the gap, and whoa! So it's coming to the pit, I guess. So Brockhammer is using the pit window, which is already just open for about 2 minutes ago. Madi Andika is continuing the race. Brockhammer is coming to the pit early. Is one of the strategy from our driver from Germany. Let's see how Berkham are able to keep up, because speeding early, it's meant that also you might have that kind of traffic happening to pass the driver, which is not only taking pit order as well. So Randy Reyes is driving alone, I guess, but not really, because he has already one slow car to pass in this 9 lap, and he still already have pit to serve. Randy Reyes is trying to passing the drivers in the uphill section. Of course, he don't want to miss the time, and successfully he's given so much respect for the driver. It give that space for him, especially in the tike, and also in the tike track like this, like how you're able to predict the car and really just giving the space where it's possible is mostly appreciated. So we just had 19 driver are the left. So you can see, guys, Mount Panorama is so less forgiving for most of the drivers. Most of them start choosing to just going out from the track, just bail out, because it's just not fun to continue with the broken car, I guess. Last for game is very not unforgiving track. Batters Mount Panorama on the next. So trying to survive is one of the most important factor in track like this. Gugun Wiranto, Javasim driver, is in his Porsche. Surprisingly, Gugun Wiranto is well known with the Billy Ebenhazer teammate are using Bentley for the past few races, and I can see he's competing very well, able to keep it very well among all the drivers from Indonesia. But now he's trying to use the unusual car and testing out how the Porsche, how his comes up a performance with the Porsche. And I can see that Gugun Wiranto maybe not perform very well here. He's already on the midfield, but I can see still a solid performance, because most of the drivers are even unable to continue the race and choose to bail out, while Gugun Wiranto still now battling with other drivers. Ardian Shah is now trying to catch up with the 4th-second driver in front of here. So I can see the gap is already spread out here, but it's going to be very interesting to watch after the pit window closed and all drivers are serving the pit. Maybe the order of the drivers will be back again as usual when you're able to serve the pit very well. Delhi Brady is also just serving the pit, as you can see here now. It's a beautiful to watch, guys, with all the lamps on the night. And what I like the most from Master Corsa is also how the lights are able to reflect very well on the camera. As you can see, there's some dirt on. I can see it's like when you're shooting this, you forgot to clean up your filter. He's also simulating that. I want to ask the people from Master Corsa to just clean up lens because it's just distracting. So Billy Ebenhazer having battle with Mada Andika now is very tight battle, and surprisingly Billy was able to keep up very well with his Lexus. Mada Andika, of course, is not giving up easily when he's already unable to close the gap with the driver in front of him. Now he has the big pressure from Javasim. Billy Ebenhazer sparks there. Mada Andika is trying to really make sure to use all the track possible to carry on as much speed as possible. Coming to the tight corner, let's see how Lexus is able to close the gap with the Bentley here. As you can see, the carry-on speed on the straight, of course, it's easy for Williams to just passing Mada Andika on the straight here because of the carry-on speed, and Mada Andika just give up that easily, but also doesn't mention that he is giving up that easily because Mada Andika is now back again with trying to catch up with carry-on speed. Now it's coming to the turn after the top speed. Very precise turn, braking point has to be applied here. Now it's coming to the turn for the left. Madandika is trying to close in the gap. Let's see how it performs. Oh, you can see, guys, there is the hits on the muffler. It's just lighting. It's lit. Okay, so Madandika was already unable to close the gap with William Hazer, but now William Hazer is have that kind of big homework to catch up with the Java in front of it, because there's like more than almost 1 minute gap, so doesn't expect that. So Brockhammer with Dave Brady is another competition here. He's having fun to like choose different drivers to battle with. Brockhammer now is on the midfield on the 8th position, still on the top 10 amongst the 18 drivers. We're still continuing the race. It's coming, passing from the inside, but it's not. Brady is not just giving that easily. Coming to the uphill section is coming very nice here. Closing the gap, not yet. All driver has a very good presence, and it seems that we are having a close gap here. Brockhammer trying to do another turn. He's already going to the kind of straight but uphill section. It's a curve. It's a very tricky here because some drivers are able to like just full throttle flat up, some of them, but this part especially, of course, indeed is very tricky. It's kind of starting to downhill, descending, and you can see Brockhammer is able to close the gap and just shadowing from behind. Such a pressure, and he's coming from inside. There's some mistake, I guess, from Brady, and Brockhammer is able to passing very, very well with a not a lot of efforts, I can say. Brockhammer is now already passing, but Brady, I guess, is not giving up that easily. That slipstream on the straight, he's not able to maintain it very well. The Ardianshan now in the third position is going to close the gap with a 5 second. Ahmad Wirawan also 21 seconds gap, and there's a slow car in front of him, and trying to pass him is one of the things that he has to do to be able to keep up even better. But not a good chance, I guess, for now, especially with the given gaps here already happening. So Ahmad Wirawan is trying to passing driver in front of him. Let's see whether he's able to do it successfully. Of course, the driver in front of him to get the blue flag. Oh no, it's a real race, guys. So Ahmad Wirawan is actually with MRQ. Yeah, this is not blue flag. So MRQ is having that 0.3 gap with the driver behind of him, which is Adi Wirawan with the Bentley and Mercedes. Coming to the first corner, MRQ getting so much pressure from Wirawan. Coming to the first corner, very good MRQ. Now going to straight to the ascending. I can say this is one of the sections to really determine how is braking very well. Likely will also give that steering input and to really feel the momentum of the car and to make sure all the possible cadence as possible. Very, very good. The gap is already consistent there. 0.4 MRQ able to maintain that, and Wirawan is still trying to closing the gap. The tight turn, the gap is increasing, but still the most determining thing is going to be the downhill section, which is very, very technical for most of the driver here. And I can see the experience of the driver can be shown very well. Especially, you can see there's sparks. It seems like it's hitting the ball slightly. So playing aggressive is kind of risky, not to mention also adding some adrenaline rush for most of the drivers here. Oh, very well. Oh my god! Oh, it's a mistake. Oh, easy to pass. Ahmad Wirawan passing MRQ, I guess, because there's some mistakes happening. So some replay, guys. So you can see here. Yeah, so Akil is just trying to I guess. It's just close, really close, and it's near miss. I can say as adrenaline rush to get that kind of very as much as possible. It seems that it's also giving MRQ that kind of mistake, but he is able to not giving up. He's trying to getting back his positions, going to another turn. MRQ is trying to Closing the gap 0.5, and now it's going to the another uphill section. Some tricky when you have to be lifting maybe, but some driver are able to flat out very well. It seems that Emakil is getting a bit left behind here. And Clovin Che also having battle here with Kalevi on the strike. And you can see Clovin Che is going to the first corner before the downhill sections. Oh no, is that after the strike, sorry. So yeah, Kalevi with the Clovin Che, last corner, Porsche and Ferrari going to the first. The gap is really close, I say, 0.4. The first turn of the lap, very good. Closing the gap, 0. Less than half seconds gap. Carry on speed will be much needed to pass. Closing the gap as much as possible while also trying to play aggressive and trying to predict another driver's braking point, also one important factor, unless you're going to hit the drivers from behind. But seems that Kalevi and Che, of course, all of them are the experienced driver. And Makilos now is very close to us well, and the battle happening in the midfield in the Panorama. Still happening there, guys. So trying to catch up here with both of the battles currently happening in the last 10-15 minutes of the race. As you can see, Akil on the straight too, trying to always making as much sleeping as possible. But I guess Akil is now need to really adapting and trying to play more aggressive, because for battling for several laps, I guess each driver is already able to really learn the driving style from another driver and able to really make use all the weakness factor of the driver, especially like when they're braking that late. It means that you're also able to braking late and make sure you have the skill for that. Not to mention also a different cars can also have a different characteristic when you're able to braking late or early, and how you throttle. For example, like the car like Ferrari is very risky to throttle early because the wildness of the engine is maybe need to be careful for some drive. But car like Bentley may be able to like have more grip, especially with the big body. You're able to eat that gravel, eat that curves easily. There's a factor that has to be utilized very well by most of the driver here to really understand the car very well. Clovin Che, the Porsche and Ferrari, of course the agile Porsche, maybe not so the advantages here, but see, the gap is still, the battle is still happening with the Ferrari. And I can say myself that I'm trying to using Ferrari in Mount Panorama is better than the Lamborghini or another favorite car that I have. And also one of the main factor that most many drivers are using for the in this space. Okay, so interestingly again, guys. So okay, Clovin Che is able to passing on the straight, really interesting. But coming from outside, inside is still being kept up by Kalevi. But oh, almost it's near. Oh, almost. Okay, good. Wow, interesting to watch. And going to the another corner, it's going to be a high-speed corner. This is oh, there's a spot. Trying to make sure all the space as well as possible to carry on speed. And you can see here so very well chasing. It's going to the downhill section. Oh my god. Let's see, guys, how is the battle going to happen, because it's the most, of course, the most interesting one, especially with the driver behind you. It's the pressuring, it's another pressure from the drivers who is trying to keep up the gap. And you can see the gap is really closing right now. It's just a matter whether Kalevi is going to make a mistake. Just a slight mistake can really affect it, because when you made a mistake in a tight corner like this, your car will just hitting the wall. Maybe the car behind you is able to just pass, and it's going to the slipstream now. It's very tricky. Of course, the braking point, as you can see, all drivers are able to maintain very well. The gap is closing now, guys. There's some more mistake happening. Oh, almost touching from behind, as you can see. With the race is already happening for like almost end of the race. Of course, the tire condition is maybe slightly changed more often when you're on the pit and you're changing the tire. the breaking point might be miscalculated by Calvin Chase. Now it's Calevi's passing rebound switchback is not able happen, guys. So yeah, so Calvin Chase passing already now, guys. Oh no, it's Calvin Chase still behind. So Calevi is already passing, I guess. Tony Calevi from ULAP Racing. It's good, very, very good. Now another pass. Oh! Oh, there's a mistake there. Calvin Che made some mistakes. And that's still able to keep up very well. Okay, so let's see, guys. Let's see on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see that Mada Andika is one of the only drivers from Indonesia who is still able to survive in the top 5. Wow. Yeah, so 14 drivers left. Oh my god. Yes, one Panorama that scary, that challenging for most of the driver, because like almost half of them are unable to complete and just bail out from the race. Respect very well for all the drivers is able to survive till this point. Hopefully we don't see like less than 10 drivers, because it's already 10 minutes left for the race. As you can see here, there's a lot of gaps because only like 14 drivers is only joining the race. It seems that, yeah, so there's not enough competition here, I can say, and the gap is Calvin Che and Tal Kelevi is the only battle I can see right now. Maybe Mr. Reed, we can go back to Calvin Che and Tika Levy. He's already still on the battle. Oh no, where is the other? Okay, it's there. Okay, yeah. So Calvin Che, Tika Levy. The competition is still happening between two of the drivers. Still good to see there is still a battle with less than 10 minutes of the race. Going to be fun to watch. The entertaining factor of how Jeff are able to give such a show for us. Alright guys, so let's do it. Okay, so Calvin Che. Now he's going already having 1 second and 7 seconds gap with the Kalevi. He's not able to maintain the gap very well in the last few laps of the race, but still there's still opportunity for him to passing, because considering all the drivers that's still surviving right now, Calvin Che is having the most last gap. I can see that another driver has the 1 lap, 7 seconds, 3 seconds, 12 seconds, 1 second, 12 seconds, 2 laps, 3 laps. Okay, so respect very well, especially for drivers like Patung. Oh, he's already on the pit actually, but still on the race. Maybe he is just getting pit, or maybe just waiting, storing his car on the garage. Don't know yet. Let's see whether he's going to out. And still, yeah, it's just about a matter of time to finish the race. I don't see any competitions happening right now. All right. All right, so guys, get ready. 5 minutes left. It's nice. It has less than 1 second, so you can expect some challenge with Mada Andika. It's going to be interesting to watch, because Mada Andika may be the only drivers from Indonesia I can see. Is this ready from Indonesia? Maybe, but it's interesting to watch. Yeah, it's not so solid performance, I guess, from Indonesian driver. We have to accept and admit that our drivers from Philippines, from Germany, and another, 2 drivers from Philippines and 1 from Germany is taking out the first and second into podium. Come on, guys. Okay, it's such a strong contender, of course. It's going to be a very good motivation, I guess. Oh, so Betty is coming from Philippines. All right. So yes, it's a solid performance here, and it's just nice to see that the driver still we can give and facilitate the drivers to have battles. So coming back to the race, Brady is shadowing Mother Andika in less than 5 minutes of the race, and he's shadowing her behind. Of course, that kind of stamina is slowly decreasing, not to mention also the car, tires, pressure, aerodynamic, and his Brady's want to pass him from behind. Very good strategy to passing safely on the straight, and Madandika is just give that space easy to the Brady. But of course, I hope so. And Madandika is still want to compete very well. As you can see, he's not giving up easily. But giving that space on the straight is such a kind of movement that it's really just hey, go on, right? Because it's just safe for me, safe for you, safe for all of us. Okay, so the gap is already there, it's increasing. I can say that Madandi guys might not be as furious for this race. And Coffin Chase passing Kalevi finally on the corner. Going to the first corner, switching back, it's very close, they're playing safe. Going to another strike here. Okay, very interesting, side by side. It's too wide here, but it seems that Coffin Che is just passing it. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, Porsche and Kalevi from behind. Finally, a lot of gap here now. Not that much. It's 0.5 something. 3 minutes, I guess, like 2 or 3 laps remaining for the rest of the day tonight. I mean, so Calvin Chase still not give up until Calvin was well. This interesting to watch this battle like for the lot of laps, I can say. And going to be very good experience for most drivers, especially when you're playing it really safe. I can say it's become such a good rivalry among drivers. Even on the fun race, when you're respecting each other, the drivers, I can say that it will give such a good discussions after the race. Don't want to expect that you are blaming each other for the incident happened. It's very nice to just saying that, hey, it's good battle today, I respect you, and you are very fast, you also fast. It's kind of discussion that we're expecting after the race of things like we happening today. And we can see that Kalevi and Che, even they're like battling on the few laps, not few, it's many laps, but still they're maintaining it very well. There's some small contacts happening, but not that hard that makes the driver is really having a bad time going outside the track or just damage the car bad. But see here, it's a very good competitions happening between both the drivers. Brooke Hammer just trying to finish the race. I don't think that he'll able to pass him, at least Balagunan and 2 drivers from Philippines here made a mistake. But I don't think so. Seems that they are also very experienced drivers. Jolly Brady, I guess is another teammate from Rest and Balagunan, which is actually is also trying to pass, but still a lot of gaps happening. It's like more than 10 seconds. 1 minute race left, 1 minute time remaining for both drivers to finish the race. And you can see that the drivers on the top position is almost finished their last lap and getting the checker flag. And 14 drivers still remaining. Dina still on the gap is lost also happening. There's still already a lot of gap between all of them, and seems that Reyes is now having that kind of obstacle for the out lap. I don't know who is that. It seems like there's a Ferrari it's a blocking him, but he just giving him pass easily for the blue flag. Ron Reyes, our driver from Philippines, is a very solid contender here among all the drivers from Indonesia. I'm just waiting on Reyes to be also joining the real competitions, the real league and championship, and see we can have this international contender. So it's just nice to have that kind of support from among Indonesian folks to support their country. And even you can see and can like bring the audience from Philippines to as well if it's possible. Let's see what we are going to offer in the next few weeks, I guess. We're still preparing for something, I can see, guys. So stay tuned with the Javasim updates. There's going to be a lot of fun things coming up in the next few months or weeks, I can say. And to make sure that, see? Congratulations, Randaries. This is like a dancing there, I can see. It's happy to say and seems like, it's kind of overpower outperforms most of the chapter here. So coming to the second place is Balagunan, which is a little bit like left behind for one lap. So solid for performance from Ranieri's. Congratulations for the 22nd laps for this 45 minutes. Now it's coming for the another teammate from Philippines, Balagunan, which is about to score his checker flags. And congratulations, Aldo Balagunan, which surprisingly he is using also not so favorite car is a Nissan. Our new drivers from Germany, Jonas Brockhammer, congratulations. Also, thank you very, very much for joining our race. It's very, very nice to have a new drivers joining in every single race in our weekly race now. Congratulations, Brockhammer. Looking forward to see you again in the next race. Dear Brady, also coming from Philippines in the Porsche, is coming to the fourth race. Congratulations, dear Brady, with the Porsche. Also a solid performance here. And finally, our drivers from Indonesia, Mada Anika, is also coming for the fifth positions. Congratulations, solid performance after the few battles, and Mada Anika is able to survive here. Calvin Che, driver from Indonesia, also scoring the checker flag with the 7th position and 6th and the 3rd. Tori Kalefi, Gillette Racing is also coming to the 7th position. Billy Evan Hazer, Vantonio, Gugambranto, Ertamin, Rian Chandra, and Dina. So again, thank you guys for the race. Thank you again for participating for this adrenaline rush race on the night in the mountain. And just let me know if you guys have any suggestion about the next race coming up. What is your favorite track? Like what format are you going to do? And we're still glad because the initial ideas of the races we are going to be having on the night with the rain. So imagine that, Mr. Didit, what's happening when we are still want to do that. So again, congratulations and thank you very much for Mr. Gardita, our CEO, and also for our technical guy who was also facilitating us for this race with a very good server performance with a lot of drivers coming and also from the outside Indonesia. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching, and please let us know if you have any feedback, and don't forget to join our Discord community server by visiting discord.io/javasim, and you guys can also visit our website javasim.id, and also please follow our Instagram, subscribe to this YouTube channel to see and to get updates for the next broadcast that we are going to do, and also to get updates for anything related to the race and some podcasts that are also still editing currently right now. So again, thank you so much for watching and see you again in the next broadcast, and stay safe, have a good night, and